Both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Set! 319! 319! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch the screen. Detroit! Detroit!
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Set! 319! 319!
Here's Penny on the counter. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On second down, here's Jackson. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Detroit. DJ Chark, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. It was 3rd and medium. They popped the short pass, looking to pick up the first, accomplish that mission, and then they accomplished a lot more on that mission all the way for the score.
Let me focus in on one word you used, pop, right? They popped the short pass, and then what happened after that? They popped the big run. Because now, once he caught it, didn't have anyone else in the vicinity to bring him down, and he takes off, and he kept going. Nice gutsy call, even better execution.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't take too long. Right over there. Right 58, right there. 6 power. There.
On second down, here's Wilson. Paul bringing it in. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Flush to his right. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. They'll run with the rookie. It's Boston Scott. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Hey, 4 down.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
12. Sorry. Wide 90.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. A big pickup of 12 yards on fourth down to keep this drive from stalling.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a fourth down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope.
Gotta go. In and out. Let's go. 19. Move. Hey, we are.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long.
Hey, watch it. Gun. He's checking. Crash. Hey, switch gears.
On second down now, Scott. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
All right, partner, let's go back over the last couple of plays. Sack, loss of yards on a running play, not exactly the sequence that an offensive coordinator gets comfortable with when calling plays.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Darren Lee in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Gun!
They keep it with Penny on first down. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10.
Back there in that Philly. Here we go. Gun!
Play action. It's Jackson. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On second down, Jackson. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hey. All right, here we go. 319.
Penny, a first down carry, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Penny, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains, didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! 48 Mike. Here we go, D.
Here's Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jackson now, going to throw again, going for it all. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half, a second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Now it's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line, that's where they'll take over. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Right back to him on first down. Finding room to the 20. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run with Marshall. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Back to 99 Philly. Here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Check 50. Check 50.
Here's Jackson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Here's Marshall. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Detroit! Detroit! Hey! Hey, we got... Hot! Hot! Here we go. Check. Fresno! Watch you now, Barney! Watch you now, Barney! Check 4!
They'll run with Penny, and nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
58, boys. 694. Go Chief. 734.
First throw now for the backup Carr. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Number 10 with the reception.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Go. Get set. Single. I got a single in the slot. Express. 80's getting the ball here. 80's getting the ball.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3.
29.
Shotgun now for Carr. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So out now come the Lions. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number 1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. He's going to float this one. And got his man complete. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Detroit. DJ Chark, 81 yards. And the Lions add on to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And now out comes Minnesota. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
93. Yo, Chief.
To throw again. Carr looking for Shepard deep. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, 93. 93. 29. 29.
From the gun, it's Carr. Going up top. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here's a give to Penny. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Jackson on 2nd down, escaping the pressure right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Now let's go. 319. 319. Hey, alert 48. Hey, we're going to make the... All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 50.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. .23 yards on the tuck and run. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Detroit!
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
Take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
Hey, 4 down.
Rush in.
Hey, here we go.
Rush in.
Now Carr on the bootleg. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Robert Quinn in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
24.
Slot. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Hot.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Set! 319! 319!
48 Mike. 48 Mike.
Hut!
This is Marshall. Room to run inside the 40. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? Five defensive
DBs.
backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
Double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing, offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
319!
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check. Check hot route.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Slam.
Now Marshall. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Hut!
A handoff to Penny. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Double tight. Double tight. Odd.
Hut!
Down. 5 down.
They'll try to run it in with Marshall. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Keith Marshall, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions have got it on cruise control.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And out now come the Vikings. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run on 1st down. Scott. He finds an opening past the 40. Accelerating, and off he goes. And down right around the 37. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Carr. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down.
694.
Hey, watch that.
734.
Mike 54.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Here we go.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Hey. 4 down.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Strong right.
We got 3 down.
Throwing again. Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Haloti Ngata in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Carr. Going to throw deep for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Now Zach Hocker to add the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
19.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Double tight.
3 down. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Go, 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 run, run, run!
Woo! Yeah, baby, yeah.
The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
4 down, 4 down. Set, green.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
White Monday down.
Left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left.
Get set. Blue 80.
Boys, we got 4 down.
Check 13.
On first down, Scott. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receiver.
Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
I tell you, you don't have press conferences when you sign guys like this. But he's been a real difference maker so far. That's now 2 interceptions for him in the game. And when you're getting contributions up and down your 53-man roster, you're going to be all right.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
12 jumbo.
58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike.
OP, OP. Low, low, low.
Here it comes.
On play action, now Carr. They'll roll him out. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Single receiver.
Down. Blue 80.
49.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ron Parker. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Touchdown, Detroit! Keith Marshall with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And all the way down to the 35. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Monday down. Shift. 1-8, we're good, we're good.
Hey, 58 is the mic. Going 58 to the mic.
Now a play fake. Carr. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.